Coming up on News Live at 6, snow in Syracuse. Find out more about this winter weather in spring.
That this is the time to get that new license.
Just a few weeks away, how you can get one before the deadline.
And after a brief afternoon rally, the stock market dove back into the red. The stocks to watch out for with looming tariffs. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome into News Live at 6 on this icy, chilly, cold, snowy Central New York Tuesday. I'm Ronnie Parrillo.
And I'm Ilana Epstein. Now, Ronnie, you would think today is April Fool's. I know it was a week ago, but with the snow, I mean, like you said, it's back in December, back in January. What is going on?
I had the top off of my car just a few days ago because it was like 70 degrees, and now it's snowing. But here to tell us if that snow will stick around like the trooper that she is, braving the elements as always, is our own Liv Rodriguez.
Hey there, guys. Well, if you looked out your window this morning and thought, wow, it looks really icy and cold, I wish there was a reporter outside in that cold to tell me what it was like. Don't worry, I am here to help you. Looking outside right now, you can see that we are absolutely not looking at some spring weather. We are looking right now at 27 degrees outside with snow covering a lot of what you see back here, even the construction going on those new halls back there. We are also looking at 20-mile-per-hour winds, so right now it feels a lot less like 27 and a lot more like 9 degrees out here. And that trend is going to continue into tonight. We're only looking at a slight upcrease into 28 degrees, but that wind is still going to continue. If you look, like I've got my winter fit check on right now, like my scarf, my big jacket. This is the type of clothes you're going to need to be wearing outside because we are looking at some classic winter weather here in the beginning of April. But I will have more of what you can expect over the rest of this week and if that snow will continue when I'm back in the studio. Ronnie and Ilana, back to you guys.
Olivia, thank you. Please get back inside so you can be warm, but staying outside on the roads, a traffic alert for your commute this week. The New York State Department of Transportation is alerting drivers of lane closures along I-81 starting today. Workers are assisting with striping. It's part of the I-81 Viaduct project. The lane closures will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. through Tuesday, April 15th.
I wish them a lot of luck with that striping today. I-81 northbound will go down to one lane between the 690 westbound on-ramp to I-81 north and exits 23 to 24B. Southbound on 81 will go down to one lane between exits 23A, 23B, 22, and exit 20. So watch out when you're on the roads. Take it slow.
It's National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and New York State Police are aiming to keep the roads safe. This week is the start of Operation Hang Up, an enforcement plan that helps police identify drivers using phones while driving. The goal is to lower the number of crashes, encourage drivers to follow the law, and keep the community safe. The plan will last through this Monday. Police issued almost 22,000 tickets during last year's plan. More than 4,000 of those were distracted driving.
New at 6 tonight, Real ID enforcement goes into effect nationwide in less than a month. Our Roman Verna tells us why it's crucial to check your status before you travel.
The clock is winding down on the school year and students are gearing up to go home. But as they pack their clothes, say goodbye to friends, and clean out their dorms, there's one more item to make sure you have.
And that's this, a Real ID. Although it may look no different from a distance, this little gold star in the corner of your state-issued ID could make the difference between going home and getting stranded.
That's because starting May 7th, all U.S. travelers aged 18 and older will be required to have a Real ID to fly domestically. But if you don't have one yet, there's still time. Those looking to upgrade can either visit a DMV in their state, or if you're a member, you can visit participating AAA locations for an upgrade. Valerie Puma works for AAA and says the process should be done as soon as possible.
This is a time that AAA is reminding travelers that this new identification requirement is going into effect very soon. If you are planning on going on any summer vacations that you're traveling to by air, you're going to need a Real ID or have an up-to-date passport on hand.
But this urgency has made appointments scarce in some areas. The Syracuse DMV only has 12 days of reservations left in April, and for many downstate offices, they're already completely booked.
So if it feels like you're forgetting something when you go to leave this May, don't just check your wallet, check your ID inside it. Reporting in Syracuse, Roman Verna, CitrusTV News.
Roman, great work as always. Thank you. Last Thursday, President Trump ordered K-12 schools nationwide to certify that they're following federal civil rights laws, and ending DEI programs. Now, the next day, New York State sent their response. Our Richard Mai has the latest now on how the community is reacting to the state's position.
New York State says they will not comply with President Trump's DEI order. Schools that don't follow the order risk losing funding, which some parents here in Syracuse say are important.
When people hear DEI, they think it's about Black and brown folks, but it is so much more inclusive and expansive, and I think that continues to get lost in the dialogue.
The letter sent by the state covers all public schools in New York, including those right here in the Syracuse City School District. For some parents, their issue is that there's a lack of understanding for what DEI programs truly are and what they fund. But for other parents, their issues with the order lie much deeper and much more personal than just the principle.
My daughter's a type 1 diabetic and we need some extra help. And if we didn't have that, her education would be in peril.
Both Clementi and Arnott are proud of the state for standing up for DEI programs. Clementi says diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are just that.
It's making sure that we are diverse in how we support the people that we partner with. We are making sure that we are inclusive about the things that they need and addressing and helping them in ways that make sense for them.
Reporting in Syracuse, Richard Mai, Citrus TV News.
Richard, thank you. Now, the letter from the State Department of Education also says there are no federal or state laws prohibiting the principles of DEI.
New details today. Destiny USA is at risk of a foreclosure due to an outstanding $300 million mortgage. Destiny's owner, Carousel Center, got the loan from JP Morgan back in 2014 before it was transferred to Wilmington Trust in 2019. Carousel has received multiple year-long extensions on the loan's final payment since its supposed deadline in 2019, but they were unable to get one last year after failing to meet the extension's agreement's income targets. The lender is now able to foreclose the mall at any time.
Police tonight are still on the hunt for a person of interest. 48-year-old Radu Zumar Turner is believed to be involved in the murder of Kenquan Davis, who was shot while driving away from a confrontation Sunday afternoon. Police were called to the Elmbrook Drive area in the village of Manlius around 4 p.m. That's where they found Davis in his car, which had crashed into a tree. Police have confirmed tonight that Turner was fighting with Davis before the shooting. Officials also believe that shooting was targeted. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward.
The Supreme Court declining to hear another challenge to a controversial New York gun law. The court's decision allows for two provisions to stay in effect, one being a ban on concealed firearms in sensitive locations, including churches, parks, and schools. The other, a mandate that gun owners must show good moral character in order to get a concealed carry license. But the requirements that were previously struck down by the Supreme Court 3 years ago remain blocked. Despite the decision, Governor Kathy Hochul said she'll prioritize safety and continue, quote, fighting to keep New Yorkers safe.
A family is returning to New York State after ICE detained them in an immigration sweep last month. Now, that family from Sackett's Harbor, which is about an hour north of Syracuse in Jefferson County, was held at a detention facility in Texas. All this according to Assemblyman Scott Gray. He released a statement saying, quote, "I'm pleased to share that the family at the center of this recent federal immigration matter is being returned home. Federal authorities have confirmed that the family will be returned safely to New York, an outcome we are all profoundly grateful to occur."
Many workers at prisons across the state will continue seeing a pay bump. Governor Kathy Hochul extending additional overtime pay for workers through May 9th. Any staff member who works overtime will be paid 2.5 times their original rate. The pay bump comes as facilities cut staffing after some officers went on strike. The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision is working with other units to secure a permanent resolution for their employees.
Underclassmen students and upperclassmen students too know where they're living next year, but the housing process, if you're an underclassman, is still a topic of conversation. Our reporter Vanessa Shimoni has the latest on how students are feeling towards the new selection process this year. Hey, Vanessa.
Thanks, Ronnie. The Office of Student Living changed their housing selection process this year after receiving complaints from students the past few years. The new process introduced a wave system that was supposed to make campus housing locations more equally distributed. However, not every student had the same experience. The new SU housing process only allowed a certain number of rooms to be open for students to select each day in order to make housing options more fair to the upcoming sophomores. For Thea Brown Hargrove, the LLC option gave her a step ahead.
Yeah, so I live in an LLC this year in Day, the Multicultural LLC, and that gave you, for like upperclassmen, is in Watson and Ernie, and I'm living with 2 other people, so 3 of us total. And so we decided to live in Watson, and there was only 1 room in the whole LLC that would support us, and we got the room. So I was very happy with how that worked out.
For students like Eloise City, the new system left her questioning if she would have somewhere to live next semester.
Everything was pretty much gone by noon, and going in as somebody like looking for I wasn't trying to be even picky at all. I would have done a single.
On the bright side, students like Mary Gibson say the new system actually gave her quite the advantage over the old one.
I had Thursday at 9:44 a.m., so if it were last year's system, I would have definitely been on South. But because of the new system, I'm now in Orange, which is my top choice, so I really liked it.
Now, especially with the ongoing construction of 3 new dorms being built on Waverly, hopefully next year incoming freshmen and future sophomores will have a better variety of options in terms of where they can choose to live. For Citrus TV News, I'm Vanessa Shimoni. Ronnie and Ilana, back to you.
All right, Vanessa, thanks so much. Coming up on News Live at 6, investors are holding their breath while tariff negotiations continue. How the markets are reacting this week when we come back.
Plus, a close-knit Syracuse club team is pushing for a national title. Stay with us.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Ronnie Parrillo, Ilana Epstein, and Olivia Rodriguez. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Well, President Trump's sweeping tariffs go into effect tonight at midnight. That includes an additional 50% on goods from China. Now, it'll bring the total tariff number for Chinese goods up to 104%.
The markets were almost as unpredictable as today's spring snow. Here to break down what that means for your wallet is our Ben Bassick. Ben?
Yeah, Ilana, I put my green tie on this afternoon, hoping we saw that rally in the early afternoon, but it looks like my color coordination's off because all three major indexes ended in the red today. I want to start off here looking at the Dow Jones, down about 10% on its 5-day. The S&P 500 closing at its lowest level in a year. The Dow and the NASDAQ, they're at their lowest level since January of 2024. The S&P just narrowly avoided that bear market, right, that 20% drop today. But really want to zoom in here on the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ is kind of that tech-heavy index, so a lot of those U.S. domestic-based tech stocks, your Mag 7, your Apple, your Google, your Intel, your Microsoft, something like Apple, they get 95% of their products from China, which means they're going to have to make cuts somewhere. They're not going to increase prices because the CPI, consumer spending, that's down right now. They're going to go after research and development and advertising. When they cut advertising, that affects other stocks like a Meta that rely on those advertising. So these tariffs really do have a ripple effect, this wave effect throughout the markets. Hopefully we see kind of rebound here the next couple of days. Now, the best case scenario for those 160 million-ish Americans who invest in the stock market is that this is a short-term market reaction. That's what the White House is claiming. Now, Democrats are pushing back out against that, saying, hey, what about those folks who have their savings wrapped up in the stock market? Well, if your savings are in the stock market, you might want to watch Market Shares on Friday for some financial advice. But most Americans have this 60-40 plan in their 401ks. That's only down about 6 or 7% on the year. So it's doing okay. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Liv, hopefully the weather's going to turn around quicker than those indexes behind me.
Yeah, Ben, hopefully we are going to see some more change in the weather, but I will have exactly what you can expect for your 5-day forecast when we come back. Stick with us.
Welcome to my house. Lately, not my happy place. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The parents were not themselves. My little brothers were morphing into small creatures. The walls were closing in. Clearly a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. And there's a lot of that going around right now. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It might not get you out of the house, but it could help you find a little more breathing room.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. Now, I know we are having a really weird weather day, but we are looking at a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel because we are going to see the temperatures warm up for the rest of this week, which is really good news for us, which when I say warm up, I definitely mean we're in the mid-40s for the rest of this week. So looking ahead, we can expect clouds and rain for the rest of this week. So make sure to pack your umbrella and your jacket because unfortunately we are not going to see the sun, but we are going to see some warmer temperatures. We're going to hit a peak on Friday at 49, and then we're going to see some even better weather on Sunday. We're going to hit 54, which is really great news for us. We're going to see like intermittent clouds throughout the week, but hopefully we can see some more sun. But when I think about sun, I think about last year, which if you didn't know, today is the 1-year anniversary of the solar eclipse. So I want to ask Ronnie, Ilana, what do you guys think the weather was at this exact date, April 8th of last year? Is it A, 68 and sunny, B, 63 and cloudy, C, 48 and rainy, or D, 57 and cloudy? What do you guys think?
I think either B or D. I'm gonna go with B though. I think it was pretty warm from what I can remember.
It is central New York. It's one of the cloudiest regions in the country. I'm gonna go with D. I wasn't here. I was in DC, so we weren't in the path of totality. But I saw a lot of videos, so I'm gonna go with D. I'm putting all my money on D.
B.
I like that. Great. Here's also another hint. This is us, me and some of my friends, on Eclipse Day last year. So unfortunately, Ronnie, you weren't there. But the correct answer is B.
Yay! Good job,
63
Ilana.
and cloudy. Hopefully, we are going to see some more warm spring weather coming up in the future. But that's all I've got for now. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, Liv, I'll take those 40s right now. Anything, really. Syracuse women's rugby, more good news, has qualified for club nationals for the second year in a row.
Our reporter Tegan Brostrom shares how this team has a bond that's as strong as family. Tegan?
I would be where I am in life without it. It was really such an amazing way to come into college and make new friends and get out there and just change the way I viewed kind of like life and exercise as a whole.
For Madeline, she'd never played rugby prior to college. And now she and the entire Syracuse women's rugby team are headed to nationals for the second year in a row.
It really means like everything. It's so amazing to see all the hard work and dedication everybody puts in, and it's really amazing to see like it actually come to fruition again and again.
This accomplishment has been a whole season's work in the making.
Worked really hard for this, and I definitely think we deserve it, so it's great to feel that all of our hard work is paying off.
Many Syracuse Women's Club rugby players, qualifying for nationals is one thing, but having a place to call home on campus is the real trophy.
Best friends on campus are my teammates that I'd be worse off if I did not find this team.
The close bond on this team is what keeps all the players coming back.
They're my family. Like, I love it so much here, which is why I come here multiple days a week and put in so much hard work and energy. All the girls on this team like support each other through so much. It's such a physical sport. It's very draining at times, but we all have each other.
The club president says the team is more than just teammates.
Definitely rugby did make Syracuse feel like the home away from home.
For CitrusTV, I'm Tegan Brostrom.
Tegan, thanks. Now, that team is one of 20 to make nationals. They head to Washington, D.C. to compete at the end of April. Good luck to them.
Speaking of teams going for national championships, there's a new champ in men's college basketball. When we come back, we'll go over the battle for the title in Texas, plus more from the world of sports.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
College basketball season is officially over because a men's champion has been crowned. Welcome to sports. I'm Alex Remoll. Last night, 1 seeds Florida and Houston faced off in San Antonio, and this game went down to the wire. Let's take a look at the highlights. Things starting out a little bit even with a slam by Javier Francis to give Houston some momentum, and then a block by him on the other end, leading to this fantastic dunk on the alley-oop from Malik Wilson. LJ Cryer in the early second half showing that Houston has some range, nails a three. Things going really well for Houston. Florida needs something. Gets a dunk out of the center, Alex Condon. Then a block on a three-pointer by Houston's LJ Cryer. Cryer leads to a and one layup from Thomas Houck of Florida. Big energy play there. Then a little bit more from that same well. Walter Clayton Jr. gets the hoop with the harm. So Houston trailing late as Emmanuel Sharp coughs up the ball with 26 seconds left. Then on the final possession, Sharp with another chance coming up here, gets the ball, jumps and loses it. He's not allowed to dribble, can't touch it, and that is the title for Florida, national champions. 65-63 the final in the Alamo Dome. So the Gators are on the top of the mountain for the third time ever. The champions were behind for most of the game, but led at the most important moments. The Cougars got a strong performance out of guard LJ Cryer with 19 points, but part of the problem for Houston was that Cryer was the only double-digit scorer on the team. The Yankees are in the Motor City for a series with the Tigers and wrapped up a game 2 a couple of hours ago. The Bronx Bombers lost yesterday, but still regressed this afternoon. New York only put up 2 runs in game 1 and got blanked 5-0 this time around. Detroit starting pitcher Tarek Skubal dominated with 6 scoreless innings. Before today, the reigning AL Cy Young winner had an ERA north of 5. The Yanks only had 6 hits today, and half of those came from first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. The Islanders are 6 points out of a wild card spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs with just a handful of games left in the regular season. That means stakes are incredibly high for the Isles in tonight's road matchup with the Predators, one of the worst teams in the league. New York and Nashville have already met once this season, a 7-4 win for the Isles on March 1st. A name to watch for the Isles is center Mark Gatcomb, who scored twice in Sunday's Islander triumph over the Capitals. These teams hit the ice at 8. Syracuse football has a new starting quarterback. Head coach Fran Brown announced last night that LSU transfer Ricky Collins won the job over freshman Jakari Williams and senior Michael Johnson Jr. The Orange play their spring game on Saturday.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. Well, will there be more snow tomorrow?
We'll have your wake up weather when we get right back.
Welcome to Live from Studio B.
Welcome to another episode of Culturally and Technically Legal.
Previously on Survivor.
Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's esports news into digestible sizes for easy consumption.
Welcome back into your wake up weather. Well, luckily looking ahead to tomorrow, that snow is not going to stay for long. We are going to wake up at around 28 degrees and peak at around 3 p.m. and stick in that 38, low 40s, high 30s area. We are going to see mostly cloudy skies with a little bit of sun, which is lucky. So whenever you can, get out there. You still are going to need your jacket. Luckily though, we are not going to see any precipitation, whether that's rain or snow. So hopefully that's leading into some better temperatures for the rest of this month. And hopefully we're actually going to see some spring temperatures in April.
All right, ready? You know what that is?
What is that?
That's me playing basketball.
A hooper.
A bowler, as some kids might say. No, not really. Now that March Madness has come to a close, we want to see how we did on our brackets. One of us here is very lucky.
Last night's game was a close one, but Florida came out on top and was the only one of us who predicted it correctly was me, Elijah
Congratulations,
Walter
Ilana.
Jr. They brought home that win for the Gators, and I am officially a Gator.
My little school from Rhode Island didn't make it.
Yeah, I thought Brian was
That's
going to make
okay.
a run. I mean, I had
One day the Bulldogs are going to do it.
I think I just overthought mine. Too much chaos
That's
and what
excuses.
ended up being a pretty tame March Madness.
Yeah, I'm just glad I got the Final Four. So I'm just,
You got
I'm
all
sticking
of
with
them?
that. Yes, I got all.
Oh, because you put
okay,
all
I
the
have
ones
3 out of
through.
4.
Congratulations.
Okay, you know what?
We killed it. We killed it.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, that's Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Tuesday.
Don't forget, you can always follow us on social media at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Ronnie Parrillo.
And I'm Ilana Epstein. Have a great night, Syracuse.